Hey, good morning, everybody. How are you today? I hope your day is really going well. Today is the 14th of May, 2025. Behind me is my S4, Porsche 928 S4. This car right here is the car that started my... God, do you think I need a haircut? I don't know. Maybe. This car right here is the car that started my Porsche journey down a rabbit hole, which I have exclusive Porsches now. I pretty much put the halt, stop on other cars to do work here on, just doing these. And telling other people, telling other potential customers and clients, sorry, I'm not going to take your car. I can't take your car. I have too many things to do, and I don't really need to do it. So let me show you what's going on this car right now. Notice that there's something missing, something big missing. And let me show you right now what's happening. Okay, one of the brake caliper mounting holes was stripped out. Previous owner somewhere stripped out these aluminum threads. Somebody down here replaced the damaged threads with a inferior Healy coil, which I probably will eliminate and get rid of it, simply because it's not as good as the kit that I'm going to show you right now, which is called a Time Sert kit. Time Sert thread repair kit. Now these kits are actually recommended by Porsche for these kind of repairs versus the Healy coil repairs. Now this kit I acquired from Kimball Midwest. Now, just so you know, for detail's sake, this little part, the drill bits, and these little connector or these little pieces here and that punch are not part of the M8 1.25. I think it's 1.25, or is it M8 No, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. M12 1.5. M12 1.5. These little ones are not part of the M12 1.5 kit that you see right here. I had those from another kit, so I put them in here just for ease. Nice package to compartmentalize them. So this is the kit right here. So what you do is a good Time Sert kit will give you all four of these parts. The drill, take out the old threads, countersink, which you can only go so far. It'll stop right there. Let me find something to point with. It'll stop right here at the tip of that screwdriver. That's where it stops. You can't drill anymore. Then this is the adjust the camera. This is the tap right here, and this is the thread insertion tool. And these are the threads that go down into the part that is going to be repaired. Now, this is the drill that was provided, but since it was already stripped out, the drill was not needed. However, for me to fix this bottom one, the drill will be needed, and that's going to be a mess. Because as soon as this very high quality steel drill bit digs into those Healy coil threads, it's going to be a real mess. So we'll just have to do it. But I'm going to do the top one first and get that one done correctly and right. So I used the provided tap. And thank God for Mr. Adams, my industrial arts teacher in school, high school, taught me how to properly use this tool. And I'm going to just reiterate that to you right now, what he taught us. He taught us to make sure it gets square to the piece, not cockeyed, not crooked. And then you go about 1, maybe 2 turns. Of course, you use a tap handle, which I have. And then you back off a little bit and allow the broken threads, the broken debris, to fall through the bottom. Or if it's a bottomless hole or a hole with a cap on the end, you have to stop, back out, blow out, or vacuum out the debris from there. So I ran this tap all the way through using oil for the lubrication. And I'm going to try to zoom in on these threads. That's the very rough thread on the damaged brake caliper mounting area on the hub carrier on the Porsche 928. Notice I got it in a vise, clamped it down pretty tightly. So now I use this thing, the thread insertion tool, and use this right here. So let me go ahead and get set up and I'll come right back. Okay, so I rigged up the phone / camera just to show what I'm doing. I use the oil on the thread insertion tool. I put oil on the inside, put it on the top so it runs in. Then I use, get it started. This is the actual thread insert. I like good tools. I really do. Tools are very important for what we do, and having good ones matter. That T-handle is from a Craftsman toolkit, tap and die kit that I've had for numerous years. Let me put some thread oil on here, on the insert. I've had this tap and die kit. It's a very small one. That's one of them that I've had for numerous years. Now I'm worried about the tap handle hitting on the hub carrier, but it's not, so that's good. Now what's happening right now, I'm getting some resistance here. That is the thread insertion tool stretching out the threads, the thread insert on the inside of the hub carrier, stretching them out into the reconstructed threads that I used with the die. So you don't want to go too much, but you don't want to go too little. Okay? So I'm just kind of feeling this out. And I'm going to try to back it off. And it looks like it is going to back off. I'm going to add a little bit more oil. Let that penetrate down into the threads for a moment. Give it a little more snug. I would think that if you, the audience, were to torque this down too much, you could cause the thread insert to separate, which is not what you want to do. And I'm going to easily back off this thread insert tool, and let me share that just because I can. Now it is spinning pretty easily, so I'll just remove the tap handle and just take this out. Okay. Of course, I'm going to clean this up really nicely. Clean the tool. Then I'm going to clean the hole. Yep. Not a good thing when your thread insertion tool drops. Pick it up. Okay. Now, let's run one of these caliper bolts. Now, I think these are the wrong ones. These are a little bit too short. I need something about maybe 8 millimeters longer with a shoulder. But I'm just using this as an example to go through. Let me put some oil on here. Voila. It's going in beautifully. But it's hitting the bottom. I don't know why it's hitting the bottom. I don't know if that is... I need to tighten it up more. Maybe there's a tab on the end that has to break off. Let me look at one. No, there's no tab. Very interesting. Let me look at it. I don't know. It doesn't want to go down any more than that. I'm not sure why that is. Let me run this down again. I don't know if I need to tighten this up a little bit more, put some more torque on it. It's at the end. Maybe I need to drive it through some more. Yeah, that's probably what needs to happen, is drive that last little bit through. But I don't want to spin the insert, which it's not doing, but I'm not forcing it. Let's see if that helped any. I want to have the bolt go through all the way through and have maybe 2 millimeters of extra room. Let's see how this goes in now. It still wants to stick. Very interesting. I don't know. Let me push it a little bit more. Now the worst thing that could happen here right now is I could booger it up. Then I'd have to drill everything out, weld the holes up, and then start over. Not something I want to do, but something I will do if needed. I want this thing to be able to go through the end. Here. Okay. It's not spinning. The thread insert is not spinning, which is good. Okay, I'm going through. I think this is going to work. So let me back out, put some oil on it. Okay, let's see what the deal is. Okay. Okay, good. That's what it needed. It needed to be driven all the way through. I figured that was the case, but I was not sure. And it's all being shared right now live, or not live, but on this YouTube channel. So, time Sert Porsche repair kit. Done. Complete. Choose.
What would happen to the entity?
Okay, I did
quarantine after being hailed?
decide to drill out the bottom thread. Now I'm going to show you just this one step using the drill with the countersink on it.
The creator is one being.
Forgive the background. This will only be maybe a minute or two.
Is such that upon seeing the love light net, it is impossible to break this law. Therefore, nothing happens. No attempt is made. There is no confrontation. The only beings who are able to penetrate the quarantine are those who discover windows of distortion in the space-time.
And I'm pushing down.
Surrounding the planetary field.
There we go.
These windows are rare and unpredictable.
Double check it. Move the drill around a little bit.
Where a large number of UFOs show up like in 1973.
Okay, now I'm just going to undertake
this is correct.
On the bottom hole what I did on the top.
Are most of the UFOs
okay,
which are seen
there you go.
Choose.